A good day to everybody. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to present the study. Today, I will be presenting a study on the diagnostic utility of platelet histograms and flagging performance of automated analyzers with thrombocytopenia. So, over the recent years, hematology analyzers have evolved from semi-automated to fully automated ones. While the majority of these enumerate the platelet and red cell counts by impedance principles, many of these analyzers use the optical light scatter or optical fluorescence methodology to count the platelets. A histogram, which is generated by these analyzers, is a graphic representation of the collection of data, which is based on the cell size, number, and is a very powerful tool in morphologic analysis of red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. The platelet histograms are a neglected part of the automated hemogram, which, unlike the RBC histograms, which have been studied in detail about their shapes, about the bimodal pattern, and about the utility in various anemias, these platelet histograms are not evaluated properly, and which, if interpreted, will have a significant diagnostic potential to prove relevant information on the patient diagnosis. So the present study aimed at analyzing the platelet histograms in thrombocytopenia with simultaneous interpretation of platelet flags and platelet counts by impedance and optical fluorescence methodology. So the objectives in the present study were to analyze the platelet histograms in thrombocytopenia, to correlate the platelet flags with peripheral smear findings, and to recognize the analyzer results consistent with spurious platelet values. So these were the three objectives of the study. Coming to the methodology, this was an observational study which was done on a sample size of over 300 blood samples of thrombocytopenia in the Department of Pathology of a tertiary care hospital in Mysuru, Karnataka. The histograms and the other parameters of autoanalyzer were obtained by a 6-part automated hematology analyzer, Mindray BC 6200 series. The 300 cases of thrombocytopenia were divided into 3 categories based on the platelet count, as into category 1, a severe thrombocytopenia category with less than 50,000 platelet count, category 2 with the platelet count between 50,000 to 1 lakh, category 3 where the platelet count was divided into the cases with 1 to 1.5 lakh per microliter. And this is the severity of thrombocytopenia which we have taken into account for our study. The parameters in histogram that were evaluated were height, breadth, upper discriminator, and the shape of the histograms along with the platelet flags which were generated. These histograms were evaluated in relation to the platelet flags, followed by a peripheral smear analysis and correlation of these parameters. The statistical analysis was conducted by entering the data in MS Excel sheet and using SPSS version 23, which was licensed to the institution. Descriptive statistical measures like percentage were applied. Inferential statistical tests like chi-square test was applied to test the association between grades of thrombocytopenia and the histogram patterns. The association was interpreted statistically significant at a p-value of less than 0.05. So now we will move on to the results. The platelet histogram is a graphical representation where it measures the platelets between 0 to 30 femtoliters. And here, if we can see the first photograph, this is the normal curve which is seen in a platelet count of 2.13 lakh. That is, in the normal patients, normal people, where the platelet count is more than 1.5 lakh. And this is a smooth curve with a right skewed right side of the right arm of the curve. And here, the height of the curve represents the platelet count, while the breadth of the curve represents the platelet anisocytosis. The instrument also had platelet parameters which were depicted by numerical values, and also the flags which were generated by the analyzer. And the 3 flags that were generated by BC 6200 analyzer were platelet clump, platelet histogram abnormality, and thrombocytopenia. So this is a photograph which is showing all the 3 flags in a case of thrombocytopenia with platelet count of 89,000 per microliter. And now this is the table 1, which is depicting the platelet flags generated in thrombocytopenia in our 300 cases, the total study number. And here, if we can make out, there were 102 cases in category 1, 107 cases in category 2, and 91 cases in category 3. So the category 3 was a mild thrombocytopenia, and in category 1, which is designated as severe thrombocytopenia, here we can see thrombocytopenia flag was generated in all the cases, and the sensitivity for this flagging was 100% for all the cases. The other types of flags that were generated were clumps and platelet histogram abnormality in severe thrombocytopenia cases. While in mild thrombocytopenia, the platelet flags were generated only in 14 out of the total 91 cases. Hence, we infer from this table that flagging performance of the analyzer was more whenever the platelet counts were less than 1 lakh. So, in the category of mild thrombocytopenia, flagging performance was less compared to the cases with moderate and severe thrombocytopenia. So now we will move on to the histogram patterns in thrombocytopenia. This is the table which is showing the histogram patterns which were described as having the following types in all the cases of thrombocytopenia in our study. And here the patterns described were slightly undulated downward curve, serrated downward curve, saw-toothed curve without touching the baseline, shortened height of the curve, shortened peak with elevated tail, multiple peaks, and a normal curve. So here, this is a graphical representation where you can make out the frequency distribution of histogram patterns in thrombocytopenia. So first we will see the last category, that is category 3 of mild thrombocytopenia. Here if we can see the blue bar diagram shows a predominant pattern of 87% of the cases which is showing a slightly undulated downward curve. This was a predominant pattern that we saw in the category of mild thrombocytopenia. And when we move on to the moderate thrombocytopenia, we can see some more bars also which are coming up here. And if we can make out, there is a brown bar that is having almost 65% of the cases showing the pattern of serrated downward curve. The other patterns in this moderate thrombocytopenia category were shortened peak with elevated tail and 3% with multiple peaks, and some with serrated downward curve, some with undulated curve. So here the predominant pattern was that of a serrated downward curve. When we move on to the category of severe thrombocytopenia, unlike the other two categories, we can easily make out that there is a diverse pattern of histograms with a predominant pattern of 33% where it was saw-toothed without touching the baseline. A saw-toothed pattern where it did not touch the baseline was the predominant pattern, and all the other patterns such as serrated downward curve, multiple peaks, and then short peak with elevated tail, all were noticed in this category. So now we will see the individual histograms in each of these categories. Category 3, which is of mild thrombocytopenia, and here the first histogram is from a sample of 1.27 platelet count, which is showing a slightly undulated downward curve. This is based on the normal curve, which is a slightly right skewed curve, which is smoother, which is very smooth, whereas here if we can see it is an undulating downward curve, and this was the predominant pattern that was noticed in all these cases, 87% of mild thrombocytopenia cases, and this we found to be statistically significant, predicting the histogram pattern in this particular category of severity of thrombocytopenia. Now if we move on to category 2, again if you remember the bar diagram that I projected, 65% of the cases had this pattern of slightly serrated downward curve. Unlike the first category, which I would like to project again, there is only slight undulation of the downward curve. But when we move on to this category, we can see a serrated downward curve, which is almost there in many of these samples, ranging from 50,000 to 1 lakh. If we can see, this is 77,000, 61,000, 82,000, 85,000 platelet count, but the pattern is similar. So this is the curve pattern that we appreciated in moderate thrombocytopenia category. And now moving on to the category of severe thrombocytopenia, which had a diverse pattern of histograms. The first one is that of a saw-toothed curve, which was present in 33% of the samples. And here we can make out, unlike the first two categories, it's not at all a curve. Here we can make out more serrations, saw-toothed appearance of the curve with the associated flagging that is generated by the analyzer. And hence, and this was the predominant pattern. The second pattern, that is serrated downward curve, similar to the moderate thrombocytopenia cases, was also generated here. This is the third pattern which we notice, that is shortened peak. And then The other patterns such as multiple peaks in case of 7000 thrombocytopenia and short peak with elevated tail. So these were the diverse pattern of histograms that we got in our results. So coming to the discussion, the predominant pattern was slightly undulated curve in mild thrombocytopenia, while none of the severe thrombocytopenia cases showed this pattern. So this we thought could be more indicative of this mild thrombocytopenia cases. So the commonest pattern in category 2 was serrated downward curve, and this was also seen in some cases of severe thrombocytopenia and only 4 cases of mild thrombocytopenia cases. In mild thrombocytopenia, compared to the severe category of 3, the diversity of patterns was very less. So this association between the thrombocytopenia cases and the patterns of histogram was found to be statistically significant with a p-value of 0.0011. And now, the diverse pattern in severe cases of thrombocytopenia can be explained by the peripheral smear correlation, where we saw anisocytosis in majority of these cases and many had giant platelets. This could be the result of high marrow regeneration, which releases the immature larger platelets and hence resulting in more anisocytosis and more abnormal platelet histogram curves. But both in moderate and severe thrombocytopenia, unlike the mild thrombocytopenia category, anisocytosis was a feature in peripheral blood smear examination, and this could be the reason for the serrated patterns and other patterns that we have noticed in these two categories, unlike the smooth little undulated pattern that we saw in mild thrombocytopenia cases. So now these histogram variations in thrombocytopenia were studied by Shetty et al., which has described the following patterns: normal curve, curve not touching the baseline, broad-based curve, curve with short peak, bimodal peak, and sawtooth appearance. And these patterns were correlated with the mechanisms of thrombocytopenia. A thorough literature search could not give us many results. Many studies which have evaluated elaborately the platelet histogram patterns in thrombocytopenia, dividing them into different categories. So ours was a study where we have divided it completely into different categories and we have evaluated all the abnormal patterns of platelet histograms. Now we will move on to the spurious low platelet counts and the correction. So here this was the third objective of our study, where we tried to analyze if we can find out any spurious values that can be identified by the analyzer results. So there were 33 cases of spurious low platelet count out of 300 cases in a study. And out of them, platelet clumps were seen in peripheral smear of 26 cases, which was because of probably EDTA-induced pseudothrombocytopenia, resulting in a low platelet count by the analyzer. And the histogram patterns in this was multiple peaks seen in 18 out of 26 cases, which is a good number to say this could be a consistent pattern in platelet clumps. And the other patterns were sawtooth or serrated pattern and short height. And the flagging that was generated for platelet clump was seen in 24 out of 26 cases, again giving an evidence that this is a reliable indicator from the analyzer. And to correct this spurious value, the measures that we took were the optical fluorescence method, which is available in Mindray BC 6200, which increased the platelet count in 13 out of 26 cases. And in 9 cases, the sample was tested upon recollection with citrate anticoagulant and the count was given after correction. The second cause, a spurious low platelet count that was observed in our study, was seen in 9 cases of smear, where it showed significant number of giant platelets which were almost of the size of RBCs. And this could be very well explained because the RBCs and platelets are counted in the same channel, and hence giant platelets are not counted as platelets and could give rise to a spurious low platelet count on the analyzer. Though there were cases wherever thrombocytopenia was there, there were good number of giant platelets, but the number of cases which gave rise to spurious low count because of the giant platelets was seen in 9 cases, where the peripheral smear manual counting was given to correct this particular problem, and that yielded a higher manual platelet count compared to the automated analyzer. And here, coming to this problem, we had the pattern of histogram that had elevated tail in 7 out of 9 cases. and 2 of them showed serrated curve, and histogram abnormality was the flagging generated, which was seen in 6 cases. So now we will see them, the photographs, where you can see the histogram, which is showing multiple peaks, which is not touching the baseline. It has a broader base, and this is because of the flagging which is generated, that is platelet clump and platelet histogram abnormality. And the same sample on peripheral smear examination is showing multiple platelet clumps, and this is because of EDTA-induced pseudothrombocytopenia. So the same platelet clumps which were seen in our study had different patterns, such as this multiple peak in majority of them. And here you can see the serrated curve in a patient of platelet count 63,000, and flagging was consistent for all of them, that is platelet clump. So these were the patterns that we have got in case of platelet clumps. So now EDTA dependent pseudothrombocytopenia has been a well-known entity, where a study by Thomas et al. Has reported multiple peaks in platelet histogram as the predominant pattern that indicates clumping of platelets that should be noticed by the peripheral blood smear examination, while a study by Nagler et al. Has recognized EDTA-dependent pseudothrombocytopenia by histogram pattern of serrated curve, while in our study, both of these histogram patterns were observed in platelet clumps. So this is a very useful finding. So now the second cause of spurious low platelet count, that is giant platelets. So this is a classic platelet histogram that we have got in a case of giant platelet, which was confirmed on peripheral smear examination. The photograph is being projected here, where you can see the multiple large platelets in the field, which are almost of the size of the RBCs, and the histogram is showing the classic elevated tail. And here the tail is almost even starting within 30 femtoliters, and it is going high up. And this was the cause of giant platelets, and that was the indication given by the histogram that there could be giant platelets, and that warranted a peripheral smear examination. So this was the other pattern that we saw in giant platelets, where there was a serrated curve. This did not touch the baseline. Peripheral smear showed giant platelets, and the count was 1.2 lakhs. And here the other additional indicators that were provided by the analyzer were increased immature platelet fraction of 35% and platelet large cell ratio of 73%, though these two indicators were not consistently seen in all cases wherever there were giant platelets. So the analyzer could be of significant help in recognizing the spurious values. The histogram patterns of multiple peaks were seen in majority, that is 18 cases of platelet clumps, proving that this pattern can reliably predict the presence of platelet clumps in the sample and warrants a slide review. The elevated tail in platelet histogram was consistent with giant platelets, which was seen in peripheral smear of 7 out of 9 cases. The flagging performance of analyzer for platelet clump was seen in 24 of 26 cases, further endorsing the utility of flagging performance of automated analyzer as definitive tools for identifying the spuriously low platelet clumps. This is another additional parameter or additional facility that is there in our analyzer, that is automated Mindray BC6200, which also estimates the platelet count by optical fluorescence method, which corrected the platelet count in 13 samples with platelet clumps. And a study by Bayo et al. On BC6800 analyzer showed that optical fluorescence platelet counting with its dissociation effect on platelet clumping in these samples of platelet EDTA-induced pseudothrombocytopenia yielded counts that were significantly higher than the impedance method of platelet counting. So they also say optical fluorescence platelet counting is useful to exclude non-platelet cells such as erythrocyte debris, microerythrocytes, and leukocyte debris, etc. So in our study, because the instrument had this facility, we could evaluate the platelet count even by optical fluorescence method, which improved the platelet count in 13 samples. And now this was the example. You can show the photo. You can see the photograph here, the printout from the analyzer, where platelet I is by the impedance method, the platelet count is 94,000, and by optical method, platelet count is 2.59 lakh. So there was a pseudo thrombocytopenia, which is because of the EDTA, and hence this was corrected by this method of optical fluorescence counting, where this Mindray analyzer does this platelet counting in the reticulocyte channel, and that is a optical fluorescence method which dissociates the platelets and gives a higher platelet count compared to the impedance method. There is another example here. If we can see the platelet count by impedance method, which was 27,000, while in optical method the count was 1.44 lakhs, and this was a very useful parameter that we have studied. So now another interesting part of our study is the histograms which had a typical elevated tail. So when we went back, there were 37 cases in our study which had this kind of histograms with elevated tail, and the associated abnormalities were divided into these 4 particular causes. One of them is microcytosis, the other is RBC fragments, giant platelets, and the next cause is hemolyzed sample. And this was seen in good number of cases, and the patterns were as follows. So the first one is elevated tail with associated microcytosis, where the peripheral smear showed microcytic hypochromic cells. MCV was 56 femtoliters in this particular sample, and platelet count was 62,000. And if we can see these different histograms from different samples, it is very much convincing that this pattern could be taken as a definitive indicator whenever we have the MCV which is low and there is this elevated tail, that is indicating microcytosis. And the other important cause of this elevated tail was seen in cases of fragmented RBCs, and this again is because of the fact that fragmented RBCs could come in the way of platelet counting because both are counted in the same channel, and hence in this particular sample of microangiopathic hemolytic anemia, we can see the flagging for fragments as well, and we can see the platelet histogram with an elevated tail which is not reaching the baseline, and on peripheral blood smear examination we can see numerous fragmented RBCs, broken RBCs. So this was a case of hemolytic anemia. And now this is another example where we saw similar pattern, though the platelet count was 2.27 lakhs. So here I would like to stress upon the fact that though the platelet count is normal, the platelet histogram is definitely giving us a clue that there is something abnormal that warrants us for a slide review. And here this abnormal histogram warranted a slide review, and on slide examination we saw numerous fragmented RBCs, and that was again consistent with intravascular hemolysis, and the reticulocyte count was also high, 8.8% in this particular case. So now the other reason that the other usefulness of this analyzer was seen in a hemolyzed sample where platelet histogram showed an elevated tail, and we can see an obviously abnormal RBC histogram as well, where the increased upper discriminator of platelet histogram is seen and abnormal lower discriminator of RBC histogram is also seen. And here we can make out that RBC histogram is not starting from the baseline and platelet histogram is not touching the baseline. And this particular sample on examination showed all the RBCs which were lysed. Going back to the history, this patient had transported the sample in heat on a day of on the afternoon of one day where there was significant higher ambient temperature, and he had transported it where there was hemolysis of the sample, and all these hemolyzed RBCs were counted as platelets which had given a platelet count which was spurious of 9 lakhs per microliter. So this was a very useful indicator which was actually identified even before the smear examination was done for this sample. And now the sensitivity of platelet histogram in cases of abnormality of upper discriminator due to red cell fragments, microspherocytes, that is microcytic hypochromic cells or nucleated RBCs, was 73.3% in case of a study by Prabhat et al. So this is in support to our study where we have diagnosed all these causes for this abnormality of upper discriminator, where we have seen the red cell fragments, smaller RBCs, microcytic hypochromic RBCs, and even the hemolyzed sample which was diagnosed based on this. So now to conclude, Histograms generated by the automated hematology analyzers are useful tools of diagnostic significance. They alert the pathologist for slide review, especially in centers with higher sample load. EDTA-induced pseudothrombocytopenia can be reliably diagnosed by the flags and histogram pattern of multiple peaks. So now the histograms can display wide variety of platelet data pertaining to their number, anisocytosis, spurious low or high values. The platelet histograms are very useful in detecting the associated abnormalities of RBCs such as microcytosis and hemolysis apart from the platelet parameters. So from our study, we would like to also conclude that optical fluorescence platelet counting on reticulocyte channel is an alternative method to count the platelets whenever the facility is available in the analyzer. The study endorses the utility of platelet histograms, which was so far underrated as a diagnostic tool, and we also recommend their inclusion in the slide review criteria. So hereby, I would like to thank the organizers and conclude with the saying that the more we analyze, the more we realize the utility of analyzers, and there are a lot more parameters to be still explored in the automated analyzers. I would like to thank the professor and head of the Department of Pathology, Dr. Vijaya B. of our college, JSS Medical College. It is a constituent college of JSS Academy of Higher Education and Research situated in Mysuru. And I extend my thanks to the principal of our medical college who has offered us such wonderful instruments for us to work with. And also hereby, I would like to thank Mr. Biju Radhakrishnan, who is the application manager of Mindray, who is always at our service to clarify all our problems and doubts related to our instrument use. Thank you one and all again.